Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, and in this tutorial I am going to talk about the various list functions in Python. So in the last lecture we have seen what is a list in Python and how we can use it effectively. But in this lecture we are going to see how to access items from the list, negative indexing, range of indexes, how to change the item values, how to append, insert, extend and remove the specified item from the list. So without further ado, let's get into it. So our first topic is how to access items in the list. So list items are indexed and you can access them by referring to the index number. So here you can see in this example, in the list A, the indexes of these components are, for apple it is 0, 1 and 2. If you have to print the banana, then we have to use the index 1. Let me show you with some example. So this is our list which consists of 3 string components. So after creating, if we want to access the second item, we just have to use the print function, print in bracket the list name which is list A, and we have to use the square bracket to denote the index which we have to fetch. So in this case we have to fetch the second one, but we have to use the first because the indexing start from 0. So we are using first. After it enter, as you can see we are getting the second component. Similarly, if we want to fetch the last item in the list, we can also use the negative indexing. So the negative indexing means the start from the end. So the -1 refers to the last item, -2 refers to the second last, and so on. For this we just have to use print function, print list name which is list A, and in square bracket we have to denote the negative indexing. So to fetch the last item we have to use -1. After hitting enter, as you can see we are getting the last item. Whenever the list contains huge amount of data, then the negative indexing might be very helpful for you. Our next topic is range of indexes. So we can specify a range of indexes by specifying where to start and where to end the range. When specifying a range, the return value will be a new list with the specified items. To get more clarification, we will use more number of items in this list. So our list B contains 6 items. The list is created. From the list, if you want to fetch the items ranges from 2 to 5, then we will use the indexes separating by the semicolon. So for this, again use print function, the list name which is list B, and in square brackets we will use indexes. So our first item starts with 2 semicolon and the last item will be the 5th index. So after hitting enter, so the output will be the list which contains specified range. Our next topic is how to change the item value. So to change the value of a specific item, refer the index number. So for example, this is our list A. If you want to change the first item in this list, we just have to mention the index number which we have to change. So for this, just use the list name which is list, and in square bracket just denote the index which you have to change. We will change the second value in the list. So for this, the second value has index 1, so use 1 equals to the new value. After hitting enter, now the second value in our list has been changed. To validate this, just use the print function to print our list, print list A. Second item is replaced by our new item. We can also change a range of item values. To change the value of items within a specified range, define a list. We just have to define a list with new values and refer to the range of index numbers where you want to insert the new values. So for example, we will use the second list, list B, if you want to change the second and third item. For this we just have to mention the range the range which is made up of two indexes separated by a semicolon. So for this, just use the list name list B, give the range which is 1 semicolon 3 equal to, again we have to use the square brackets, the second value and the third value, just hit the enter. Now our list is updated. To validate this, just use the print function to print our list, print list B. As you can see, our second and third item are replaced by new item values. Our next topic is append method. So to add the items to the end of the list, we use the append method. So this is the basic syntax for using the append method. Let me show you with some example. So in this case, we will be using list A, and we will use the append method to add the new item at the end of the list. So just use list A dot append and in bracket denote the new item and just hit enter. To validate this, use the print function to print our list, print list A. As you can see, the new item has been added at the end of the list. Our next topic is how to insert the items in our list. So to insert a list item at a specified index, we use insert method. The insert method inserts an item at the specified indexes. So for this method, we just have to use the insert method, and in bracket we have to denote the index number and the new item which we have to insert. Let me show you with some example. So for example, this is the list A which contains 3 items. After hitting enter, now we have to insert a new item in the second place. So to do that, just use the insert method, the list name which is list A dot insert, and in brackets we have to denote the index. So for the second place, the index will be 1, comma, and the new item which we have to insert. After hitting enter, now our new item has been added in the first index. To validate this, just use the print function. As you can see, 0 and 1. So at the 1 index, new item has been added. The next topic is extend list. To join the elements in one list to the another list, we use the extend method. So in this case, the list A and list B are appended by using the extend method. Let me show you with some example. So these are our two lists, list A and list B. If you want to combine list B with the list A, for this we use the extend method. So just specify the first name list A dot extend, and in bracket we have to give the second list which we have to combine. Hit enter. So our two lists have been combined. To validate this, just print the list A. As you can see, in the list A, all the elements from the list B has been inserted. So this is very effective method for combining two lists. The next topic is how to remove the specified item from the list. For this purpose, we use a remove method which removes the items in this, removes the specified item from the list. So let me show you with some example. Let's consider the list B which contains 6 items. To remove the third item, we just need to specify, we just have to use the list name list B dot and the remove method. So remove, and in bracket we have to notify the specific item which we need to delete. So in this case we will use the third item. After hitting enter, so this item has been removed from the list. We will validate this with the print method. As you can see, the specified item has been removed from the list. If you want to remove the specified index, we use the pop method or a delete keyword which removes the items with some specified index. So for example, let's consider a list A having a 3 items. Hit enter. If you want to remove the item having the second index, which is the third item, we use the pop method or a delete keyword. So in the first example, we will be using a pop method. So list name as usual dot pop, and in bracket we need to specify the index. So for the third item, the index is 2. Hitting enter. Now the specified index has been removed from the list. To validate this, just use print function. As you can see, only 2 items. So the item having the second index has been removed. We can also use the delete keyword for removing the specified index. So for this example, we will again use the list A having 3 items, and now for using the delete keyword, first we need to type DAL, which is delete, list name, which is list A, square brackets, and the index. So in this case, we will remove the first index, so 1. After hitting enter, so the first index has been removed from the list. To validate this, again use the print function. As you can see, the second item, which has a index 1, has been removed. Our last topic is how to clear the entire list. So the clear method empties the list. The list still remains, but it will not have any content. So for example, let's consider a list B which contains 6 items. To empty the entire list, we use the clear method. For this, just simply type the list name, which is list B dot clear method, and just give the round brackets. We don't need to specify any index as we have to remove the entire list items. So after hitting enter, you have to remember one thing here. The clear method does not delete the entire list. It just only empty the list items. To validate this, just use the print method. So print list B. After hitting enter, as you can see, our entire string which contains 6 items has been emptied. So in this lecture, we have covered many list methods which contains in Python. So for more upcoming tutorials, please subscribe to my channel and ring the notification bell to get latest updates.